Recently, a fan of mine named Jason asked me for some tips on what are some spices or ingredients that a beginner cook should have in their kitchen. And I'm going to present a few of them that I actually think that you should have. So in regards to flavor, you want your food to have flavor. And you want your food to actually have a sort of sensation on your tongue. You want your mind to go elsewhere into like this real, like heaven type of experience when you're eating your food. But one of the major ingredients and one of the highlights of these ingredients would be salt. And I know that there are some people that need to watch their intake of salt, so always go by your doctor's recommendations for how much salt you should use, but salt is actually a very important ingredient to have in your food. There are many types of salts available. You have regular table salt, you have various textures available, you have fine salt, and you have coarse salt. I prefer to use sea salt. And I like sea salt in the coarse crystals type because you can actually control the salt when you put that on, and you can actually see the salt when you're putting it on. So you're not like over salting or under salting at any point in time. But I really love the sensation of salt that is given to your tongue when you're eating your food. Another thing to remember when you are salting something is that it's important to salt while you're cooking, and then check the amount of salt as you're cooking, by using a teaspoon. If you need to add more salt, it's perfect. And at the end, if you need to use a little bit of salt, just do it. Now we do have the second ingredient, which would be black pepper. And again, there are two different varieties of black pepper. You can use the fine black pepper or the coarse ground, and I actually use both. So I do always have two on hand. The fine black pepper would be for more delicate types of items that you would be cooking. So it could be for a soup where you don't want to show any larger little granules of black pepper in there. For coarse ground pepper, I like to put that on roasted potatoes or on vegetables, and it's also another easier to see size of black pepper to put on your foods. So I actually have both on hand, and I definitely use both of them. Again, while you're cooking and afterwards, check to see that you have enough black pepper. The third, which one comes very close to my heart, coming from a Latin background and family, is garlic. And I do love granulated garlic. I love fresh garlic. I love garlic in general. I could live with garlic in my life every day. And it's actually very helpful. And I actually buy it in bulk, in larger containers, and I put it into a smaller one so that's easier to shake. But garlic gives your food an oomph. And there are so many people that love garlic, but then there are a few that say, oh, I'm not really a big garlic eater. But they don't realize that they're having garlic when you put it in properly. So again, as with salt and pepper, garlic, make sure that you put that in and keep tasting again while you're cooking and then after, just to make sure that you have enough of your basic ingredients. Now for my two bonus ingredients, I have onion powder, and this is going to be a new one for me. But if you want to make just basic hamburgers or chicken breasts or any types of meat or fish, if you use salt, pepper, a little garlic on there, put a little onion powder, it'll really set you off to a good start. And you'll find that your guests or you will actually really enjoy your cooking. Now last but not least, but this is for the adventurous, so just be careful how much you put in. But it's ground cayenne pepper, and I do prefer to buy the organic kind because any organic items that you can integrate into your diet that are with less pesticides and a little bit more natural will help you out in the long run. But what cayenne pepper does is that it gives your food a little oomph beyond the garlic and beyond the onion powder. And what it does is that it gives it a little kick, and that's what you really like. And I like when my guests say, this has a little kick to it. And that makes me feel good. So feel free, you can experiment just by sprinkling that on. I put it on scrambled eggs, I put it on potatoes, I put it on so many different things, and it just adds a little element of oomph to your cooking. So here you go, my basic suggestions for a new cook starting out. Salt, you have your various choices, black pepper, garlic, onion powder, and cayenne pepper. In future videos, I'll go more in depth into some of these and let you know what you can actually do with all of the different varieties that are out there. Thank you for joining me today on my talk about basic ingredients, spices that you can use in your cooking. And what I'd like you to do is to put in the comment section below how you use those basic ingredients, and if you can think of any other ingredients that you'd like to include on a basic ingredients list for a new cook. I always like to hear from my fans, and I appreciate you following me, so be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.